Keep my baby in the room with me. Keep my baby in the room with me. Squad, what it do? It's your girl Lala Milan, and I'm back with a whole nother video. Today's about to be super cute, fun, and informative. Why? Because I recently did my birth plan on Snapchat and basically let them know everything that I had chosen to do while giving birth for my son. And they came up with a great idea to go ahead and share it on my YouTube so that way they could reference it again. So that's exactly what we are doing today. Before I go any further, I would love for you to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe and turn on that notification bell because of course I'm going to be dropping more content on a regular basis. So here's the thing. Nobody schooled me on a birth plan until I got a doula. I paid for the doula, so y'all don't have to. She gave me a lot of insight and wisdom. Here's her handle right here. The Auntie Doula. She is absolutely amazing. Go ahead and follow her for more tips, tricks, and hacks. Woo! Whenever you have your baby or even before, honey, because I've been telling her the people want to know. But also, special shout out to theeducatedbirth.com. This is where you can go ahead and get this template so that way you can go ahead and have yours ready whenever they ask you for your birth plan. Something I noticed as soon as I went into the hospital and they were like, do you have your birth plan? I was like, yeah, I actually do. And your doctor, your OB might start asking you that towards the end of your pregnancy, like the 35 weeks and later on. So I'm going to give you everything that I learned. And of course, it's up to your discretion because you got to do what works for your beliefs and your child. So let's begin. So as you can see, I put the sheet up on the screen so that way you could reference it as I'm going along, okay? Because I didn't feel the need of holding the sheet up, but I am looking down at it. So with that being said, of course, I decided to give birth in the hospital, but you can do it at home or in a birth center. For me, I wanted to do mine in the hospital because since it was my first time, I wanted to make sure that all of the medical things that could potentially go wrong didn't. There could be nurses and doctors on site to help me, okay? That made me feel comfortable. Others, you might trust a midwife to go ahead and do that for you because I hear that they are amazing as well. Some people might want to do a water birth at home, whatever the case may be. You go ahead and let your OB know what you decide. The care provider for me was my OBGYN, of course, and she is a midwife as well, so I checked that off on my sheet. Next is your support team. Some people might want to have their family and friends inside. I didn't. I didn't want people inside who would be doing the most and stuff. Y'all could see baby boy once he's here. So I did have my partner and of course my doula and my mom. She ended up being in there, and I'm not gonna lie, she did better than I thought she would because I thought she was gonna wear me out. She had to stay to the side because she was sneaking, but she ended up being on good behavior. At the end, she did pop her head into the camera, which I was happy that she was able to witness the birth of her first grandchild. Now, this is where it starts getting a little bit technical. They start talking about whether you want to do a vaginal induced or cesarean. Some people, for health reasons, decide to go with the cesarean, but a lot of times they prefer that you go for vaginal because apparently it's easier. That's what I heard. Don't quote me. And it's less downtime. Again, that's what I heard, but don't quote me. For me, I definitely wanted to go for vaginal, but in the event that something occurred, I said, do what y'all got to do to make sure that my health and the health of my child is good. Also, too, my baby was due on the 24th. And if he did not come on that day, we had a scheduled induction for the 26th. But thank God he ended up coming 2 days before his due date, so we didn't have to do that. The reason why I said they could go ahead and induce me if necessary was simply because I know that the longer the baby stays in there after 40 weeks, the higher the chance of it being stillborn. I didn't want to experience a stillbirth. Moving along, comfort measures. They give you the opportunity to wear the hospital gown or wear your own clothes. I opted for both because I wanted the hospital gown to get the blood and the mess on there. And then I wanted to have my own clothes in to be comfortable and also to look cute. Because, honey, after giving birth and going through all that stuff, I wanted to make sure that I felt my absolute best. Foods and fluids. My doula told me before getting there that they were probably going to try to have me eat ice chips. The reason why is because when you're in labor, they don't want you eating food and things like that because there's a chance that some people will throw up. There's a chance that some people will defecate, aka poop and all that extra stuff, and they're trying to avoid that. But see me, I'm going to have to eat. I was in labor for a short period of time compared to others, 12 hours, but still, I'd be hungry. So I went ahead and snuck me a little food. But you can put on your chart, food as desired, and you would like to have liquid, waters, and juice, and ice chips if necessary. So all three of mine was checked. After birth, they do suctioning. Y'all see the little blue thing, the aspirator, that they often use as soon as the baby comes out. I didn't know that it wasn't even necessary for you to absolutely do that. I thought that it was required, okay? But apparently it's not, only if it's medically needed. And that's what I opted for because it's not necessary. So why y'all sticking that up there and all that extra stuff if it ain't needed? So I say only if it's medically required. Some people opt for routine because, again, they just don't know any better. But this is why I'm letting y'all know, because a lot of stuff we just didn't know, okay? Eye treatment. So I was told by my doula, no, actually by my OB, that eye treatment is put on babies so that way they can avoid any type of STDs in the event that the parent is unaware that they have one at that time. I didn't understand, simply because how is that going to help whenever the baby is out and then you're putting it on? I didn't get that, but that's what she told me. We said no because I got tested for everything before I became pregnant, and I had her to test me leading up to after she told me what that eye treatment was for, just to be sure, because I got paranoid. I don't know about y'all, but I could hear something crazy and then I'd be like, I need to check for it. Just because, okay? Bathing. This is something that's really, really important, right? So when a baby is born, it has, whether it's a boy or girl, it has vernix on it. Basically, it's an extra layer of like nutrients that coats the baby's skin while they are inside of the womb. When they come out, it's still on their skin. I didn't want the doctors to wash that off of my baby's skin because I wanted him to finish soaking up all of the nutrients that was in that. So I wanted to come home and give him a bath after a couple days and making sure that his skin soaked it up. Sometimes they'll go ahead and wash the baby immediately. People don't know that. So that's why I opted for them not to bathe my son when he was in the hospital. And if I say that wrong or something like that, don't worry. I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen so that way y'all can reference it. The vitamin K shot, I did do that because it's a vitamin and they had told me that it was important for him to have it so that way it could go ahead and boost his blood cell turnover. Don't quote me. I'll go ahead and put that on the screen, okay? But she basically said it was important for him to have it so that way it could jumpstart his little system. Circumcision. Me personally, I absolutely wanted my son to be circumcised, okay? It's really an aesthetic thing. It's cultural. A lot of people may not opt for it. A lot of people may. I wanted it. I wanted my son to be circumcised, and he got circumcised, okay? As far as photography and videography, I wanted both, okay? And they allowed me to do that. The mirror. I wanted to watch my baby be born. There was a mirror in the bathroom, and when I saw it, I said, hey, can y'all bring it out? They brought it out with no problem. In the video of me giving birth, you can see me actually looking into the mirror and watching my son be born. It was one of the coolest experiences ever, and I highly recommend that you do it if you're not squeamish. Me, it was motivating when I saw how much he was out, it made me keep pushing harder when they told me that I was in that contraction window. So I loved it. Some of y'all might not, but hey, it's personal preference. They also asked if you want to touch the baby's head while crowning. I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'll just wait till his whole entire body comes out and I'll hold him then. And that's exactly what I did. They also had partner catches baby. That just reminded me too much of the Martin episode when the baby flew out and they caught it. I ain't want no parts. So after birth with the placenta, they give you the option for natural delivery where you have to push it out. They had medically managed delivery where your OB, whoever's delivering your baby, they'll bring it out for you. And you could see it and you could keep it. I wanted to see it and keep it because a lot of times they will take Black women's placentas. They doing research on it. I don't need y'all to research and capitalize off of anything that comes from my body, especially whenever it can nurture me postpartum. So what I did, I opted to keep my placenta. I got it dehydrated and encapsulated, and now I'm taking it as a supplement to go ahead and replenish what was taken from me whenever I delivered my son. Okay? I'll give y'all more information on that as well, and I'll tell y'all the company that I use to do that. Okay? She ships worldwide, and she's absolutely amazing. So they also give you the option for the umbilical cord. So you can do delayed clamping, you could do clamp after the pulsing stops, or a lotus birth. Now, y'all, a lotus birth is where you could literally keep the placenta attached to the baby until it falls off. So basically, it's attached to the umbilical cord. Yeah. And it'll fall off whenever the umbilical cord falls off. It's all one thing. I wasn't doing that. Some people will literally spice up the placenta and keep it in a bowl and carry it around. Nah, that's like carrying around a piece of steak with you. I'm good on that, okay? So what I ended up doing was I clamped it after the pulsing stopped because that let me know that all of the nutrients that was left in the umbilical cord and placenta at that time had properly transferred over to my son. Skin to skin, immediately. The golden hour is so essential for regulation of the heartbeat, also getting your baby acclimated and warming them up as well. They're coming into a completely new and different world. So this is a time to make sure that you acclimate them as best as you can. And also too, nursing as soon as possible. One thing about it, a baby might not know how to do a dang thing, but guess what they're going to know how to do? They're going to learn suction. Immediately put him on my breast. He wasn't getting breast milk right then and there. He was getting colostrum for the first couple days. His stomach was the size of a marble, but we got it done, and I was happy about that. Infant feeding. We did breast and offered, bottle if necessary. So, but in the bottle, of course, is breast milk. So we wanted to make sure that we put that on there. The baby rooming, as far as the hospital is concerned, some hospitals might have the nursery. I know a lot of them did away with it after COVID, or they'll let you do the room in. Keep my baby in the room with me. Keep my baby in the room with me. Okay? I need to see what y'all got going on. I need to see what's happening. Okay? I need to make sure that that's my baby. Because I watch too many Lifetime movies for me to be letting y'all take my baby into another room. Please and thank you. Thank you. Interventions. Ooh, this one is good. Very good. So the saline lock, a lot of times, as soon as you go into the hospital, they put in IVs and stuff in your arm. I didn't know that they didn't have to. So I told them, just put a lock on me. I don't need anything unless I need it. Okay? Check me first and let me know if I need something. And they did. I needed an IV because I needed to be more hydrated. So they went ahead and hooked me up to the IV. But in the event that something goes down, I wanted to make sure the saline lock was on me and not until medically needed, because I have small veins. So it would have took them a very long time to try to find a vein when something was wrong. I wasn't going. Okay. So with that being said, y'all, literally took them 6 times to put a a needle in my arm. So imagine if something was wrong and they had that issue. It would have been a panic. They wouldn't have been able to get it done. So I just played it safe and had the saline lock already attached. So that way they could go ahead and handle their business. I opted for the external measure tool for my contractions. They put a band around me because I already got a baby in me. I don't need nothing else going inside of me. Like, don't stress me out. As far as the electronic fetal monitoring, we did continuous because I need y'all to go ahead and make sure the baby is good at all times. It's too close to be making any simple mistakes or finding out something too late. Just make sure my baby is good 24/7. Thank you. Now, this thing right here, the episiotomy, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I know what it is. Some people opt to get stitched up from the rooter to the tutor, from the top to the bottom, from the cooch to the boot, okay? Before they even go into labor to prevent tearing. I had good old faith that this coochie cat was stretched out and was good enough to not need that. And I was right. Because guess what? She went ahead and did that oil massage, and I didn't have no rips, no tears, no nothing. It was all good in the hood. So I wasn't getting stitched up prior to not knowing. That was crazy to me. Pain relief, natural. I'll ask if I want more. Epidural. Here's the thing, y'all. I thought I was going to be able to go without an epidural. Yeah, nah. I went ahead and got it. I got it. I got 8 centimeters dilated before I got the epidural. Because once I got to 8 centimeters, at first I was chilling. But then I started hollering. And I said, I don't even holler. Okay? I ain't no holler back girl. I ain't no holler back. So, honey, I had them I need a holler at my back. Okay? And they put that epidural in my spine. And it was beautiful. I was numb from my breast down below. The best feeling ever. They should start selling epidurals on the street. I ain't gonna hold you. Okay? Now, if I wanted more, I asked. But honestly, because I don't smoke, I don't drink, the epidural held me very well. And it took effect after the first contraction. I was great. Comfort measures. This is beautiful because they offer you the ability to have sound. You could play music up in there. You could have the birth ball. You could take a rice sock. They taught us about that in birthing class. It supposedly helps to alleviate pain in the spine because some people be having back births. Cold cloths, movement, mobility. Honey, I checked off every single thing on there. Why? Because whatever I feel at that moment, I'm going to take it. Whatever I needed at that moment, I'm going to take it. Okay, and I ended up just I used a birth ball at home, and I did movement and mobility, and I did physical touch and massage for my man, child. And it was working for me until it wasn't working for me. When you contracting, you don't even want to be touched, okay? All that lovey-dovey stuff out the window, for real, for real. So, aromatherapy, tub, shower. The house already smells good, so I ain't even smell nothing. I don't know about y'all, but I wasn't worried about that. Some people take it into their room. I was good. The tub shower, we stood in the shower and we literally let the water run down on me. And that was so helpful. Oh my gosh. Even if you're laboring at home and you want to make sure that you're dilated long enough, enough before you go to the hospital, go ahead and get in the shower, y'all. Let that water run down on you because it feels so good. Honey, I was just sitting in the shower, and letting the water rain down on me. Just rain down on me. Yes, on me. Ooh, I had to hit that note right, but y'all get it. Okay? Artificial rupture or spontaneous rupture of the membrane. If necessary, I wanted my doctor to break my water. If not necessary and it breaks on its own, sis, let it do its own thing. When we got to the doctor's office, I didn't realize that my water had broken. So my OB was like, okay, let's go ahead and break your water. She went in, she said, I think it already broke. And I'm not going to hold y'all. I think it had broken one of the million times that I was on the toilet while I was laboring at home. Okay. So I opted for her to go ahead and break it in the event that it already wasn't broken, because let's get this over with, okay? And I trusted her. Make sure you get a doctor that you trust, for real. Interventions. Let it happen on its own. Go ahead and do nipple stimulation or sitting on the ball or Pitocin. I wanted it to happen on its own. But if it didn't after the 40 weeks, I was going to go ahead and make it happen. But I did not care to get Pitocin to speed it up. But the crazy thing is, because my contractions had slowed down, because we were sitting for like an hour before my doctor had came in to deliver the baby, they had to go ahead and give me Pitocin, and I wasn't mad at that because we had to do what we had to do. But only if absolutely necessary, okay? Vaginal exams, I didn't want them to check how far along I was dilated until it came time. I didn't care to know because I'm paranoid. Honestly, leading up to it, if she had told me, oh, you're 2 centimeters dilated, I probably would have freaked out. And I didn't care to freak myself out. So I was like, don't tell me nothing about my vagina, please. So there you have it. If y'all have any questions, please make this a forum down below. Talk to other women who are going into birth for the first time. Talk to other women about what you would do differently with your birth. Me personally, I wouldn't do anything differently. I feel like everything went perfectly. I had a healthy baby boy. I was in labor for 12 hours. Everything was great. No stretching, no tearing. What I would recommend is use a yoga ball at home. I feel like that probably helped with opening up my pelvic floor a little bit. Also, I would absolutely say look into the vaccinations before doing them. I didn't want hepatitis B shot for my son. I didn't. I just wanted the vitamin K. When they said hepatitis B, we said absolutely not. Look into what hepatitis B is. And also, too, we don't have a history of hepatitis B in my family, nor in my partner's family. Something else is that we don't come from a region where hepatitis B runs rampant. It just didn't make sense for us to give him hepatitis B vaccine. But yeah, if y'all have any other questions, please, please, please drop them below. If I myself don't answer them, maybe somebody else will. But I've learned that when it's your first time, it's scary. Sometimes the education that you want isn't out there. And we can empower each other, especially being women of color, okay? Because we are the ones who have the highest rate of dying in birth. And that's just the reality of it all. So each one teach one, spread the word. And yeah, I hope that y'all have an amazing day. Thank you so, so much for watching. And also, again, make sure you subscribe, comment, and turn on your notification bells, okay? And give me a thumbs up, because, child, we educating the girls, okay? Oh, and until next time, it's your girl, Lala Milan, and I love y'all for real. Bye!